Michel Olise, because his name is continually being linked with a move to Real Madrid, and the front cover of Diario AS, the Spanish sports daily, saying the Galactico is Olise. This comes down to Florentino Perez saying that he will be signing a Galactico if he remains as president after the elections.
Real Madrid and Michel Olise. It's him. It's the name of the secret star wanted by Florentino Perez.
Michel Olise's name has suddenly shot to the top of the transfer rumour mill. A Galactico-style signing for Real Madrid, apparently. Here's the story. Michel Olise, the 24-year-old French winger who joined Bayern from Crystal Palace in July 2024 for just €53 million, has become the most explosive attacker in the Bundesliga. This season alone, he's recorded 15 goals and 19 assists in 57 appearances across all competitions. In the Bundesliga specifically, he leads the entire league with 19 assists. His market value has skyrocketed to around €150 million, and some reports suggest it could reach €230 million. After witnessing Olise's brilliance up close at the Santiago Bernabeu during Bayern's 2-1 Champions League quarter-final victory, Real Madrid were reportedly moved to action. They're preparing a record-breaking €150 million bid, with some sources saying Florentino Perez is seeking a marquee summer signing and could push as high as €165 million. But here's where things get interesting. Bayern Munich's sporting director, Max Eberl, has emphatically ruled out this transfer. In a recent interview with Sky Germany, he rejected the Real Madrid links and insisted Olise is not for sale at any price. The message from the Allianz Arena is as clear as it is firm. No amount of money will lure Olise away. Bayern legend Uli Hoeneß has gone even further, calling Olise unsellable and stating the club won't consider even €200 million. That's only part of the story. Now, what most fans aren't noticing is that Olise's contract runs until 2029 with no release clause. This means Bayern literally cannot be forced to sell. No amount of money can trigger an automatic exit. The selling club holds absolute control. Which brings us to the real issue. Why are Real Madrid being linked with a player they may not actually need? The answer may surprise many people. Real Madrid's priority for the summer of 2026 is not a winger. Their shortlist focuses on defensive midfielders, with PSG's João Neves and Vitinha among their top targets. The club does not believe attacking signings are necessary, with Nico Paz and Endrick returning to form. Their actual priority is the midfield, where nobody can provide high-level cover for Aurélien Tchouaméni as a pure defensive anchor. The bigger question is, does Madrid even have a winger problem? They already have Vinicius Jr. and Rodrigo on the right. While Rodrigo has had a rough run of form and Madrid are willing to consider offers for him, they will only make a winger move if Vinicius or Rodrigo actually leaves. Until that happens, attacking signings remain optional rather than essential. Meanwhile, Bayern Munich just won the Bundesliga. Olise has been transformative under Vincent Kompany, leading the league in assists and becoming the cornerstone of their attack. The club's sporting structure is stable, Max Eberl is in charge, and fans see Olise as their future. Selling him would be squad self-sabotage. The problem is, Bayern genuinely does not want to sell, and they have every reason to keep him. At least, that's what everyone thinks. But could this transfer be something else entirely? Some analysts suggest Madrid's interest might be negotiation pressure on other targets, or a genuine long-term plan to replace aging attackers. However, the documents show Madrid is actually planning 3 defensive signings this summer. Defenders, not wingers. With David Alaba gone and Raúl Asensio not part of the plans, Antonio Rudiger, Dean Huijsen, and Eder Militao remain their only options. Defense is the priority, not attack. The biggest problem facing Real Madrid is their misplaced priority. They're chasing a €150 million winger when their actual weakness is in midfield and centre-back. This transfer does not solve their real problem. It might even create a new one. bloating their attack while leaving the midfield exposed. The biggest problem facing Bayern Munich is actually that they have no problem. They won the league, Olise is unsellable by contract, and they have zero incentive to sell their best player. The transfer creates no pressure on them because the contract has no release clause and the club refuses to negotiate. Could this deal happen? Simple, no. That's not negotiation language, that's a final statement. Could this deal collapse? Absolutely. And if it does, Madrid will likely pivot to their actual priority, defensive midfield. They've already compiled shortlists for midfielders. The winger hunt might be a distraction, a luxury purchase, or genuine enthusiasm after the Champions League performance. But the numbers suggest it's not essential. The answer to whether this transfer solves the right problem is clear. It does not. Madrid needs a defensive anchor. Bayern needs to keep their assist leader. Olise solving Madrid's problem is a myth. What happens if the deal collapses? Madrid pursues Vitinha or João Neves. Bayern keeps Olise, continues dominating the Bundesliga, and his value climbs even higher. The transfer becomes a rumour that died because the reality did not match the narrative. The bottom line, Real Madrid's interest in Michel Olise means very little in practical terms. It's a bid for a player they don't desperately need against a club that will not sell, for a contract that cannot be broken. The transfer could happen only if Bayern suddenly decides to betray their own champion. Everything else points to collapse. If you want the real transfer story, not just the rumours, then hit that subscribe button. Drop a comment below telling me whether you think Madrid should chase Olise or focus on midfield. And like this video if you want more breakdowns that go deeper than the headlines. The truth behind transfers is always more interesting than the rumour.